In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to take your spaghetti from this to this. Now, I know both spaghettis probably look appetizing, but I'm telling you, this one is so much better. I used to make this kind of spaghetti for my family. It was fine, it was easy, everybody ate it. But by making just a few changes, I was able to get a much better final product. Today's video is not about fast, it's not about easy, it is about delicious, mouth-watering spaghetti you didn't know it had the potential to taste so good. So if you want to blow everyone's socks off with your amazing spaghetti, keep watching. Here are all the ingredients you will need to make your spaghetti. I will have a list in the video description. Also, you will need a pinch of sugar. So you start with melting a little butter with the onions and sauteing the onions. Then you go ahead and add the garlic and let it saute for a few minutes. After that, you're going to add half a pound of ground beef, half a pound of Italian sausage. This part, it's really important to dice the meat up as small as you possibly can. The smaller the meat chunks individually are, the better they can mix with all the seasonings and the sauce. So really go ahead and chop that up as fine as you can as you are frying the beef and sausage. Once the meat is cooked, you're going to go ahead and add some fresh parsley, and I happen to have some tomatoes on hand. If you have basil, it works too. You can also use dried herbs. I also add salt and onion powder and dried oregano. And of course, pepper. Go ahead and mix it all up. Let all the seasonings kind of marinate together. Then you're going to add the marinara sauce. Here you're just going to mix everything up really good. I turned the heat down to low, just going to get it a simmer, and then here I'm kind of tasting it. Just taste the sauce to see how it tastes. I ended up adding about a tablespoon of sugar just because it was a little on the saltier side. I think with all recipes, it's really good to get in the habit of just tasting it so you kind of know what you're looking for, even if at first you're not really sure what you're tasting for. While I have the meat on low, I go ahead and grate my mozzarella cheese. I did also have some parmesan cheese. So if you have both of them, it'll definitely help. Then I boil the noodles. Very important direction when making the noodles is you don't want to cook it very much at all. You want the noodles to still be just a little softness to them, because what will happen is if you boil it all the way, the noodles will absorb water. If you just boil it partially just to get it kind of soft, the noodles will absorb all the delicious tomato and garlic and everything that's already mixed up in that beef. So that will end up with a much better product. So this part is really important. Don't walk away from your noodles. Keep an eye on them. Now it is time to assemble. So you're going to go ahead and drain the noodles. You're going to put everything in a 9x13 pan, starting with the noodles. Then you're going to add the meat sauce on top of the noodles. This part is very important as well. Spread out that meat sauce so all of the noodles are covered. This will help the noodles to absorb all of that tomato juice and deliciousness. Sometimes I add a little extra tomato juice if I have some on hand. You'll just kind of be able to experiment and see what works for you. Then you add the shredded cheese on top, followed by just a dash of seasoning. Cover it in foil, and I like to put it on 180 for about 4 hours. You can also do 2 hours at 250. The longer it cooks, I feel like the flavors can more meld all together and your house will smell amazing. So I like to do 180 for 4 hours, but it's up to you. Once you are almost ready to eat, you're going to take the spaghetti out, take off the tin foil, turn your oven on broil, and broil the whole thing for about 3 minutes. This will help get the cheese nice and cooked and the little brown flecks on there. The one thing I would do differently next time is do maybe 250 for the first hour. You can see the cheese is just a tad bit hardened on the top. It's not really like melted as much as I would like for it to be, but otherwise this batch turned out pretty good. If you enjoyed this recipe, let me know in the comments what is your favorite type of spaghetti. If you have any recipes you would like for me to try or any recipes you would like help perfecting, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next week.